Good afternoon. Mommy in here sleeping with her babies. Well, she was sleeping here. She got up and moved over there. And he got up and followed her. There's Kane. There's Allie's little guy. You can see them laying together. The difference in their sizes. Because like this one is one of the larger ones. And look at the difference. The bum stops here and the bum's still going over here.
This program is huge. It could take weeks to go through. But if I miss it.
The girl that is mostly white is the bigger one of the girls. The little girl yep, that's the little girl right there. They do have collars on them. So just a little peek, see what's going on. I put them in the bigger playpen. I actually have two this size, as we have had 2 litters at the same time, not on purpose. I mean, 1 litter is a lot of work because every night after I put my 8 babies to bed and the 7 puppies, because my babies are my babies. And the puppies, I put them all to bed. I come back down here and I clean up the whole floor. And then I Javix the floor and everything because it is a wood floor. And I don't want it to absorb any of the pee smell. I mean, I have a ton of pee pads all over the place. But I also don't want any bacteria to grow and have them get something. Because even though they have mom's immunity, they're still extremely susceptible to anything in their digestive tract. And one thing that is totally normal for an adult to have in their digestive tract is not necessarily okay to be in a puppy's digestive tract. Like coccidia in a healthy adult, it's a parasite, and it can cause a lot of problems for a puppy or a sick animal. But if you've got a healthy one, they just poop it out. But in the puppies, we've had coccidia once for sure, I think twice, but once for sure with Shelby's, because for some reason she went out they were already weaned, and she went outside, and coming in, I didn't realize that she had gone into the playpen and was laying down with her puppies, and they were suckling off of her. And she went down on the ground and everything. Like, my lactating mom does not go down on the ground, and she is washed. Her belly is washed coming after she comes in, just to make sure she hasn't picked anything up. Her belly and her behind is washed. And if there's a lot of like snow out right now, like now, there's pee and that on the deck. Excuse me. So I wipe her feet off as well with Lysol wipes, because we don't want to bring anything in. Because like I was saying, Shelby did, and they were suckling. And by the time I got everybody else in the house, I came in and I went, Shelby, what are you doing? I scooted her out. 2 days later, I could smell this really, really stinky thing going on in the puppy playpen. And two of them were getting really soft bowel movements. But we also went, within a day or so, we went to the vet because I normally take them to the vet at 7 weeks old to get their appointments, checkups, and vaccinations all done. And then I've got a week for them to recuperate from the last deworming and the vaccination and everything. So we were in there, and I mentioned to Dr. Matt that they've got some pretty stinky poo happening. And one of them farted while he was in there. And I said, see, that's what it is right there. And he goes, oh, I'm pretty sure that's coccidia. He said, once you smell it, you'll know it forever. He says, but I'll do the test. So he took some fecal matter, tested it, and for sure they had coccidia. So I had to call everybody and tell them they couldn't pick up their puppy, because even though they would have and given them the medicine, some of them wanted to. I said, no, I'm sorry. I will not let a puppy go that is not 100% healthy. And they were not going to be 100% healthy until 10 days after the start of their medication. So everybody had to wait almost an extra week for their baby to come home. So we're super duper careful about that. And it's funny because I used to, back in the 70s, I lived just outside of Fort Frances, and I was doing toy poodles, and we had black-faced German Shepherds. I know, what a combination, eh? But I never had any of those things going on with any of my dogs back then. And they were vaccinated and dewormed and all that kind of stuff too. But none of them ever had anything like coccidia, or I did have one female that did get worms. A female puppy that did get worms, but just her for some reason, and it never spread to anybody else. And we caught it right away. So I'm not sure if it's because of the smaller area yard-wise that I have for them to be in, or what. But my dogs back then ran free. We didn't have to fence them in. We had a huge area for them to run. I mean, the German Shepherds ran. The toy puppies, 10 jumps of theirs was one jump of the German Shepherds. But you know, the German Shepherds took care of those toy poodles. They really did. And they were pretty bossy, those toy poodles. They told them big German Shepherds what to do. It was pretty cute. I keep asking Mommy if she wants to come out of there, but she wants to stay in and snuggle with her babies. And she has started to wean them, but she did 2 nights in a row without sleeping with them, and then last night she decided she wanted to sleep with them. So that's good because I like them slowly weaned. I never ever take Mom away from them because Mom could get a mammary gland infection, become engorged. And what I do is I just let nature take its course. She's not allowed on the ground until they're completely weaned. And sometimes, like Susie, she fed her babies until they were going out the door. Even though, well, she didn't feed them. She let them suckle till they were going out the door. Same with Sarah. And they just never really weaned them completely because they still let them suckle. But they weren't getting any milk after a while. But it was easy on Mom, easy on the babies. And I like to leave soft and dry food, wet and dry food in there, because Mom will eat it, and she's supposed to be eating the puppy food anyway because she needs the calories to be able to produce the milk that she's producing for the babes. But while she's eating, oh goodness, startled awake when Mommy's eating. They'll go and they're watching Mom eat, so they start munching down too, and that's how I get them to starting to eat on their own as well. I just let nature take its course. There has been the occasion where I have had to take softened food and put a little bit inside a puppy's mouth because they're just not interested at all. All they want is Mommy. But that's about as far as I go for intervening. That's about as far as I've ever had to go for intervening, I mean. I've never had any mom reject their babies ever. I've had a few very nervous first moms. Meeka's last litter, Harley had her litter 3 days before her. It was either 3 days before or 3 days after. They were 3 days apart anyway, Harley and Meeka. And I had them both here, one on one side and one on the other side with the partition in the middle. And I ended up having to Harley only had 3 at the time, and I had to let them come over and suckle on Meeka because she was a nervous first mom. She didn't have a lot of milk, and once Harley saw her babies going over and suckling off Meeka, she really did spend more time in the playpen because she really didn't want to spend any time in the playpen at all. But like I said, it was her first time. She was very nervous, and she's Harley is 1/4 Maltese Terrier, so she's a little bit more hyper than just a regular Shih Tzu. And Mommy here This is Harley's mummy. Susie. Susie. That's Harley's mummy. She's 50-50 Shitzu Maltese Terrier. Meeka is 100% Shitzu. So is Sarah.
Yet here you are.
Mikey, he was our stud muffin, but he's fixed. There's Parker. He's our stud muffin now.
You help us find him.
There's Shelby.
Or I were going to destroy the.
That's the old girl.
And whether they want to admit it or not,
Topia. There's my baby. She's 2 years old. And there's Harley, my super duper baby. She's about 4 years old, and she's 1/4 Maltese Terrier. Otherwise, she's got her dad's build and her dad's coloring.
Not on my own. She's too powerful for me.
Yeah. Kind of boring when they don't do anything and snoozing. But they're still sleeping at least 18 hours a day still.
Yeah, I was afraid of that.
She has that collective power.
Then take it away from her.
But we'll do another one later on today when they're all awake and moving around. I'll have to change out some of these pee pads anyway. Make them some new wet food. Obviously, Mom ate it. Probably with the puppies' help because they really like it too. I mix some of the adult food in the wet because it's puppy food. It's dry kibble of puppy and dry kibble from the adults, which is pretty tasty with the lamb and the duck. So I mix it, I wet it, and then I put it through my shake maker so that it's nicely ground up. And they really like it. Of course, so does Meeka. But I hope everybody's having a great day. Next 3 or 4 days are going to be super cold. Everybody be careful. Stay warm. Have a great day.